Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to Season 10, Episode 25 of Tap to Craft Podcast. I am Denny Luce coming to you from Boise, Idaho, and my partner in craft, the dog whisperer, and my favorite Florida man from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Kris McKenzie. How are you doing tonight, Kris? And what is in your glass?
So Denny, it's happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you guys. In my glass this evening, I'm drinking some local beers. Grab this out
Okay.
of the can, a little bit of Mayor. Oh, it's going to be on a green
Oh,
label
yeah,
too.
yeah,
But cool, we
yeah.
get Tampa in the back. Little Mayor
Mayor Bear.
Bear from Barriehaus Beer Company.
Oh,
Their summer Pilsner, which I just went and picked up the other day with when I was out with my dog. So, um, but enjoying that one. But we also have a special guest on with us tonight.
yeah. Why don't you introduce our guest?
We've got Kris Ciulla on with us. He is from the Voodoo Brewing location right here in my neighborhood in Valrico, Florida. You guys are getting ready to open the doors here, fingers crossed, pretty soon, right?
Oh,
Oh yeah, it's been coming along. It's a long time coming along.
I mean, I watched them tear out the ground over there when I heard it was going to be built, and I was going, wow, we're going to get a brewery over here. That's pretty cool.
all right. Well, I look forward to hearing about that later on in the show. We will talk to you not only about the brewery, but we're going to first find out about your craft beer journey because we always like to find out about how people got started. But just hold on a little bit. Kris, what are you drinking? Are you drinking anything tonight with us?
So no, I'm driving tonight, so no
Oh,
drinking for
nothing.
me. Got to
All
be
right.
the responsible one among the group. But if
Okay.
I wasn't, I'd be drinking lacto cooler based on our brand right there.
Lacto
That's
cooler.
always a good one.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I just saw that in the store. Um, so it's a lactose Berliner Weiss. Is that what that is?
And it's got
it's
Slimer
kind
on
of
the front of it.
yeah. It's a great beer. It's one of the most popular voodoo beers, and it's just the one. It'd be a go-to if I was drinking with you guys tonight for this.
Okay. All
And
right.
it goes down easy. Let's put it that way.
All right. We can talk more about that later as well. All right. Well, since you're not drinking, I am drinking. I'm drinking some beer from Minnesota, Minneapolis
Minnesota.
area, Minnesota, because I just got back from a road trip to Minnesota, a long 2-week trip, and I'm drinking this Utepils Skolsch, Kolsch style ale.
What a name.
And yeah, and I'll tell you what, it's very tasty. It got very nice malt character, and also it's got a very nice hop character too that is more on the fruity side. So it kind of blends in with that that malt and gives you a nice, refreshing, slightly feels like a little bit sweetness on the back, but it's not really sweet. It's kind of pretty well balanced, but a great Kolsch. And yeah, that's what I'll be drinking. I'm drinking a few of these different Utepils tonight because our good buddy Eric Gronley, super listener, we met up with him and he provided me a nice care package to bring back. And this is some of the beers that he put in there. So yeah, so cheers to Eric and cheers to Minnesota beers. All right, well, let's get this show started. But before we get too far into the show, we always want to let anyone new listening to Tap to Craft podcast know what we're all about. We are an educational podcast focused around celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journey and adventure. And you are listening to episode 259, and we're recording on Monday, June 24th, 2024. We are live on Facebook, and if you would like to join us during our recording session sometime, you can do that on the Monday prior to the show releasing on Thursday, and it's at 8:30 Eastern Time. So just look for the Facebook post, click join, and you can interact with us live as we record. And in this episode, we are going to learn about Kris Ciulla of Voodoo Brewing, and well, we're going to learn about his craft beer journey as well as about what Voodoo Brewing is opening there in Valrico, as well as having some great conversation. Kris and I would like to thank all of our Patreon supporters because this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Mike Allen, Bill Slimmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, and Jim Kutzel, and Alex Fuchs, who are our virtual producers. And Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Chad Lamassa, Mark Church, and Eric Groundley, who want to buy us a virtual beer. If you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer or even becoming a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft. All right. Now is the time you've been waiting for, Kris. We want to learn about your craft beer journey. So as I mentioned before, we love hearing about people's craft beer journeys, their origin stories, how they got into craft beer. So how did you discover craft beer? And let us know what your gateway beer was into craft.
Oh my God.
Is it a long story?
Into craft, that would be, I can't even remember. I had so much beer over my lifetime. I'm 53 and, I started drinking younger than I should, but the thing I love about craft, I love about craft beer is they're always so different, and there's so many different ways people can brew the beer. I won't say who they are, but there is a local craft brewery that makes a peanut butter stout beer that is just so good. And when I put it from the glass to my nose, it smells like a peanut butter sandwich. And it's like an after dinner beer for me. It's like usually like third round, after eating dinner, that would be my go-to beer. And you can only get it at his place. And I love going there to have it.
Was that when you said what it smells like or tastes like, did you accidentally say the name of the beer?
It's over Bootleggers.
Okay, then I was right.
Yeah, you're right. So and Sean he makes some amazing beer over there. So my craft beer journey started a while ago. I was an executive for a long time in the staffing business, and I love beer. And I decided that when I was moving to Florida that I wanted to have my own business. So I looked at a lot of different opportunities. I was introduced by my friend Willie to the folks over at Voodoo Brewery. Voodoo Brewery is a franchise based out of Pittsburgh, and they brew their beer up there. And we open up gastro pub style restaurants, scratch kitchen restaurants, and we sell their beer out of restaurants. So my journey is hopefully ending with Voodoo, and hopefully I'm 3 to 5 Voodoo restaurants somewhere here in Florida.
Okay. So what was your gateway beer like? Like I'm also older like you. I may not look it, but I am. You don't look it either, by the way. So we both look young for our ages. But but I've been drinking craft beer since the very early when and beer like you in high school and even before high school, back in the day. But when you first discovered craft beer, how long ago was that? And do you remember like the beer that got you into craft beer? And did you like it? Did you enjoy what you drank, or did you drink it and like this is crap, and then revisit it later on and actually enjoy it?
So commercial beers, I never really understood, and I like beer, but I never understood the whole appeal of like commercial beers, like a Bud Light or Coors Light. Like people love to drink those, and they go to ball games, they'll drink like 6 or 7 of them, or they'll tailgate and pound them all day. And I could never get into that. I just never really liked it. So when I started going, craft beer became popular. You start going into the breweries, right? And you start tasting beers that are made with the secret ingredient, the passion that people have for beer. Then I started to realize that it's a whole different ballgame. Craft beer next to a commercial beer is a completely different game. So what I really love is when you go to these places, like I really love it here, especially in our area. I like Bootleggers. I love Bullfrog. And our friends over at Three Bulls, they make an incredible summer beer that has pear and banana in it. And that's another incredible beer that I just love. But craft beer for me really kind of came up probably about 10 years ago. And I was sitting up in New Jersey. I was at a tap room that was in Neptune, New Jersey, right by my house in Farmingdale. These guys, 2 Italian guys, owned a car wash and an ice business. And the ice business, they actually made a brewery in there. And they had a sandwich truck that came by, and people would go in there and drink the beer. So when I was washing my car with my wife one day, I said, I'm just going to go in here and see what this is all about. And I sat down and drank beer with them. Like, I'm not a big, and I remember saying to the guy, not a big beer guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you're going to be after today. And, you know, he said it in his New Jersey kind of way. He's a big Italian dude. And they were laughing. And I drank that beer. This is good. And I just really got into it. And then, you know, you just start, every time you hear about a brewery where they have craft beer or they're brewing beer on premise, I like to go to. So, you know, those are the things. Motorworks is another one that I checked out. They have one, I think it's Pulp Fiction that they have.
Oh.
That's a good beer too. So, you know, I got into the craft beer game a little late in life, but I think I'm finishing strong by owning a business that is built on craft beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good.
All right. So do you have a favorite beer style, Kris? Or do you have a go-to beer?
If I was drinking, I drink Lacto Cooler, right? That's the one I would go for. I'm not into stouts. Believe it or not, I kind of like shandy, you know, especially because it's so hot down here. I like more refreshing beer. So if I'm going for something, this is shandy on tap. I also like to drink reds when I see them because not all craft breweries carry them.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're definitely a good one.
Yeah, we're back to the beer that your favorite beer. So what makes, again, I can't remember the name, Lacto Cooler. What makes that one so enjoyable for you? Is it the slight tartness with the, I mean, I haven't tried it yet, so I'm just guessing because I know Berliner Weiss style has a little tartness to it.
Yes.
It has some wheat character to it, and then it has, you're adding lactose, so it's going to add a little bit of a sweetness to it to kind of calm it down. So what can you describe the flavor and the sensation of drinking your favorite beer?
I think you did a great job of describing how it tastes, but I'm gonna share with you why I like it so much.
Okay.
Because we're a gastropub and we're a scratch kitchen, so this isn't like an Applebee's where you can go in there and you're just gonna grab a burger with some cheese on it and the usual fixings. You know, there's a lot of great savory food on the menu. You know, our burgers are our own special blend, right? Everything's fresh, not frozen. We make a lot of dishes that are unique to us, like our Chicky Bang Bang. And owners like myself, we have menu flexibility up to 20 or 30%. So when you have those really strong savory flavors and, you know, what a gastropub is traditionally for, like a heavy foods, like Lacto Cooler makes it all just go down smoother, right? It's a stout's a great beer. If you like stouts, they're great. You know, like if you want to go grab one, you know, like Moo Cow's one that's a seasonal one. But, you know, if you sit down and you take a look at, you know, Lacto, the reason I like is because I'm in a Voodoo visiting one of the other pubs. Like I visited Fort Myers for grand opening. It's really a great beer when it's warm out and you're having like that savory gastropub kind of experience.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. Thank you. All right. So again, I know you haven't been, you kind of mentioned a style that you don't really enjoy, stout, not your favorite, but is there a style that you didn't like when you first had it, but you've grown to appreciate it more now that you've have 10 years in experience?
So certain stouts, yes. So if a stout is laced with a flavor profile, it'll be a good go-to beer for me. Like the peanut butter one that Bootlegger makes is just outstanding. They also have another one that is their Chicago typewriter.
That's a good one too.
Good. That's a really good one. And it's because of the flavor profile it comes with. A plain stout is just not something for me. It's bitter. It seems like it feels like a heavy beer. You know, I'm lean. I work out. I know we're doing headshots here, but I try and stay fit. You know, so pounding 3 stouts is probably not something I want to do when I'm going out to have beer. But I do like the stouts when they're laced with a good flavor profile.
Okay. Oh, good.
Did you get the dislike style, Denny?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm trying to cover eight things
That's
right now.
okay. That's okay.
So is there a brewery, Kris, that you don't think gets enough love? Like one of those sleeper breweries?
Locally?
Anywhere. Or a beer. Or a beer.
Any of your experience anywhere in the world, maybe.
Wow, that's a great question. Wow, you guys have good questions about beer. I'll say locally, I'll go back to Bootleggers. I mean, their beer is just off, as a competitor, it's just off the chain good. I'm glad he's not next door to me, let me put it that way. I'm definitely talk to Sean, definitely gonna guest tap some of his beers. But if you're coming off of I-75, he's not too far out of the way, and he's a great place to go catch a great craft beer, and have a very unique craft beer experience. I find too that a lot of, some of the craft breweries kind of lean on their IPA beers.
Yeah.
And people go in there and that's what they go for. And it's, the flavor profiles are all very similar. And, to the layman craft beer drinker, I imagine if we lined up 3 of those IPAs and did a blind taste test, they'd probably have a hard time. I like identifying which one's the one. But if I could say, the thing I like about Bootleggers and what we're doing is our profile of beers and the types of beers that we have and how we complement the Voodoo brands with other types of beer that are not just another IPA in our pubs. I think that's a great way to set up your tap system and have it. And Bootleggers is somebody that, I think he gets a lot of love. Like, people talk about his beer. I think people should spend a lot more time there drinking in his place.
Okay. Does he not get his beer outside of his brewery very far? You have to go there to get it, or is
you got to go there to get it?
Okay.
I'm definitely going to carry, and not because I love Sean. Sean's a great dude. I just think he's got great beer. I think he's got killer beer, and I'm going to carry it.
Okay.
And we already talked about it. As much as he can make for me, I'm going to carry. Hopefully he can give me at least 2 or 3 good taps. And see where it goes.
All right. Excellent. All right. So how about this? Is there a brewery, a beer, or a style of beer that is no longer around that you wish would make a comeback?
Oh my God. Wow.
And again, I realize these are harder questions for someone who hasn't been drinking for a long time and seen beers and breweries come and go. But still, there might be a beer that you really enjoyed at one point, and then the brewery just stopped brewing it, or it just wasn't available to you anymore that you really wish would be available.
I'm trying to remember the name of the place in Jacksonville that I had his beer. They just opened up about 1.5 years ago, and about 7 months ago, somebody brought me their beer to sample, and they don't have a distributor yet. And I'm hoping he's still around. I got to remember his name. He had the best red I've ever tasted. I was just so impressed when they opened up the can and poured it out, and we were sitting there. We were drinking at work. We poured it out. It's one of the guys I was working with when I was a consultant to his dad's company, and he poured out this red, and I was just like, I want to guest tap your dad's red. We don't have red in our line, so I want to guest tap it. And he said, I don't know if they have a distributor yet, so you can't. So I don't know if he's still around brewing beer, and they have a very small tap house. I think it's smaller than Bootleggers, and they don't have a big food scene there. So they're leaning on a restaurant next door and delivery. But I'm going to check out and see if they're around. I haven't had that beer in a while, and they're red. Now I'm thinking about it, I wish I had one here to crack open right now.
Well, now I want to know what it is, because if you're going to get it at your place, I mean,
you know what? I'm going to text my buddy. He might tell me.
I mean, I can, if I had to, I could walk to your new place. And it's funny, you're talking about Bootleggers and Sean. Sean actually lives in my neighborhood.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
you need to have him come and set up some taps at your place, a Bootlegger, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this last question, I mean, I feel like this one's gonna be slightly one-sided. If you were able to name a beer or a brewery, what would you call it?
Now, Kris, you didn't name Voodoo, so you can't really count that one. But if
I know the answer to this question.
Okay, let's hear it.
This one I've had in my mind for a long time, and believe it or not, my wife kind of talked me out of it. She says, hey, if you're going to do your first venture in the restaurant business, you hit it off with these guys in Voodoo. Let's roll with them and see how it goes. So my dad was he's a retired New York City firefighter chief. Okay. And I grew up in a neighborhood on Staten Island, New York, where we were all Irish Catholic, Irish and Italian Catholic, right? Everybody had a saint's name. I'm Kris. My friends were John, Peter, Joe. You get
Tony,
it, right?
yeah.
Tony. So you get it. So Patty. So when you go to the firehouse, it's the same thing. All the guys had saints' names. This is growing up in the 80s and 90s. So everybody was first name, middle initial. So my dad was Jimmy T. So if I opened my own brewery, it'd be Jimmy T's, and I'd have the fire department, New York City FDNY theme.
That'd be pretty cool.
My dad,
nice.
my dad, God bless him, he was on that job for over 30 years, worked his way up to chief. He was a union rep. He did a lot of good looking out for a lot of good firefighters. He got out just before 9/11, and then he went back to work with the families that lost, the 343 firefighters that were lost. He went back in to his old union rep spot to support the union and support those families, you know, and he did it for a long time because those people needed a lot of support.
Yeah.
So, you know, my dad, you know, he's got a special place. I just visited him this weekend. He's got Parkinson's. So if I built a brewery, it'd be called Jimmy T's in honor of my dad.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good story. I'm glad you had that one all prepared.
I didn't know you were going to ask it, but like I've had that one. Like my wife and I were talking about it before we went to Voodoo. I'm like, I know what I do. Be Jimmy T. And I didn't even tell my dad. I just said, I'm just going to invite my dad for the grand opening.
Yeah.
Not show him any pictures and just let him walk into it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right. Well, Kris, that was.
Sorry, clicking buttons here.
What just happened?
I'm trying to learn these freaking new.
That's okay. Well, that's all we have for your craft beer journey. Is there anything that we didn't ask you that you'd like to talk about your craft beer journey?
Not really.
No?
Just
Yeah,
I do want to give one plug to something we're doing that's a little unique at the pub. So we're doing a Founders Club. It's not another mug club. So the Founders Club, instead of taking the proceeds and putting it back into the business, we're going to take the Founders Club. We're going to cover our costs for mugs and anything that we give people when they join the club. You know, if they get a tumbler or whatever it is. But any dues are going to go into a charity fund, and the charity will be picked by the Founders Club. And then any proceeds from events we host will go there. And we're going to set a fundraising goal. And I'm going to let a committee on the Founders Club pick the charity that we donate to. So little different than your common mug club with discounts. Those things will be there. But we're really going to make it so it gives back to the community. Our core value number 4 for our Voodoo Valrico is based on we culture, and core value number 4 is be part of the community.
That's good.
So we want to give back. And I also want to thank the people at Durant High School who've done so much. I work with the art department. When you come by, or if you follow us on social media, you see the surprise and the way they participated in our business to get us out of the gate. So I'm really grateful to Durant High School. So thank you very much for asking me to have the last word today.
That was a really cool project you guys did, and I was really excited because that's where my daughter's heading next year.
Cool. Tell her next year. Every year we're going to do it. So we're going to auction the doors off for charity. We're going to have an event with the high school, put the proceeds back in the art department.
Okay.
Any student that's in good standing can volunteer, and they choose 10, and we'll rotate the doors out every year and make it a charity event. And their names are all in the paper. We're on the front page of the Osprey Observer.
Yeah, I saw that. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's a pretty artistic kid. She can draw pretty much just about anything.
Yeah, it's super cool. Thanks for asking, guys. I really appreciate it.
Well, wait a minute, Kris.
Thanks for having me today. It's really cool being on your show.
But wait a minute. We're not done. That was only the intro questions. I still have to ask you about Voodoo Brewing. I was just saying in your craft beer, because we split into 2 sections, right? Your craft beer journey, your personal craft beer journey, and then now we're going to talk about Voodoo Brew. So since you're ready to talk about Voodoo, let's go into what we call the brew buzz. This will be our main topic for the show. And the Brew Buzz is devoted to discussing various beer-related topics. This week, we want to learn about Voodoo Brewing in Valrico, Florida. So, Kris, you're the perfect one to talk about. Now, I did go to the website. I looked up some stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll just I'm going to read off some background into Voodoo Brewing for our listeners, so they get a little bit of background, and you can fill in on stuff that I didn't say. And we have a bunch of questions we want to ask you as well. So we got more to talk about. All right, so some background here. Voodoo Brewing was founded in 2005 in Meadville, Pennsylvania. The first tap room was opened in 2012. Since that time, the brand has seen explosive growth. After opening a second tap room in Homestead, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh in 2015, followed by another tap room in Erie, Pennsylvania in 2016, they recognized the need to produce their award-winning beer in larger volumes. Voodoo Brewing opened the production facility in early 2017 and an additional pub in State College, PA in 2019. After 10 years of perfecting the brewery franchise business model and successfully replicating it across 7 test markets, Voodoo Brewing is sharing their success with new franchise owners and business partners around the country. And here's some reasons why they suggest why you'd want to own a Voodoo Brewing craft beer franchise. They said, "We brew it, you move it, be the hometown hero, bringing some of the most reputable craft beers on earth to your hood without brewing a single keg yourself." I guess for people that don't know how to brew, that's one easy way of doing it.
I mean, I admitted I looked into it.
Yeah. It's the anti-franchise for those who don't live by corporate rules, but like the safety that comes with being part of a larger franchise organization. Another reason why. And also it runs tight operations. Our European beer hall design lets you operate on a lean staff of 6 people or less, which means fewer headaches and more profit. So, Kris, that's kind of like just a general background and summary of what Voodoo Brewing is all about. So as you mentioned earlier, they are a franchise brewery that allows people to, I guess, buy into the brand and open up their own brewery. And it appears they have limited number of openings per year that they allow breweries to open. So I have some questions, but do you want to give just a general background on how what motivated you to go with Voodoo Brewing, and what was the process like in getting a franchise accepted in the area that you wanted it to be built in?
So I met them through a mutual friend, and
Okay.
I was exploring a lot of franchise opportunities and looking to go independent.
Mm-hmm.
And I got introduced to Voodoo Brewery. Now I went up and met them in their main location, their headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
It was up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, one of their main corporate pubs. And I liked their corporate pub. I went in there the day before I was supposed to meet them because I came the night before. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go in there and not expecting me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go sample the food and sample the beer and see what the service is like and see what the experience is like as a patron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without having their COO sit next to me.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a good idea.
Yeah.
And it was really good. I had, I ordered a burger, which is usually like standard pub fare, right? Just wanted to test drive it. And I was like, there's something different about this burger. And then I had the beer. And I was like, wow, this is just off the chain. And I like, it's off the chain good. This is really good. So I spent an entire day with them from 8 in the morning until about 9 p.m. with about probably 6 or 7 other franchise groups. There's about 12 people there because they came as groups, right? Some people partnering up, some people with their spouses. Mm-hmm. And it was just a good vibe. The big thing that drew me in was the word anti-franchise. Mm. When I heard that, and I heard that we could have menu flexibility, that we could have our own personalized logo, which is right here, and that we would make it, and that they were determined to make us part of the community. And they really stressed that, hey, you have to become part of the community. You have to become like a local, not a politician or celebrity, but somebody that's well known in your community. Mm-hmm. I knew I wanted to be part of it. I spent a lot of time as executive traveling internationally. through China and Southeast Asia. And I was corporate and I was known in a lot of the markets that I went to. It was a really great experience. But you don't get the same experience doing that as you would if you did it in your own community. I want to be part of the community. I want to be Kris of the community, not CEO Kris anymore. So when I heard the anti-franchise thing and I could be creative, that really drew me in. Their CEO, Mateo, is a really great human. He loves what he does. He loves the beer. And he loves helping us win. And Eric Ivey, he was in one of our videos that we did that's up on social media. I've never met a COO like him. He's just a fantastic individual too. It's just when you're part of that and you feel like it, you know, they know how to win and they purpose is to make money, but they're not beating you over the head with it. Like a lot of franchises, it's just all about the P&L, it's just all about the numbers, and they give you this operational playbook that's this thick, and this is your set of rules. Go print money for us. It's not like that at Voodoo.
Excellent, excellent. So, I mean, your role is owner. Do you have any partners? Are you the sole owner of this franchise? You and your wife?
Well, it's me.
It's just you?
It is me, and my wife. My wife is she. Of course, she's on the deeds. I'm not married to her for 30 years. I think I have an original issue, by the way. So so it's great. So she's on the deed with me. But the real thing I'm doing is I have a GM hired. I'm not going to mention her name on air, but I have her hired, and she's someone who will be part of the business and earn into the business. We open more locations. She'll become an equity partner through her efforts if she stays with us, because I believe if you're going to be part of the community, the people who help you win should be part of what the people who win.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Now, you're in Valrico. How did you get to Valrico? Why did you choose Valrico as the location to open up your first Voodoo Brewing?
A long story short, I came down to Florida. I looked at every lease space from Venice to Holiday all the way out to Zephyr Hills. And when I was reading these leases, I said, these guys, they just got you. And in 10 years, I'll be closing up. This is basically me getting a job for myself for 10 years and an SBA loan. This is crazy. I'm not doing it. So I started standing on property. I stood on about 75 lots with my wife, and we stood on the lot in Valrico, and it's like between the O'Reilly's Auto Parts and Dollar General. It's a little bit of a hill up there, Kris. You know what I'm talking about, right? And when I was standing on that hill watching the sunset on the tree line where the O'Reilly's is, because it's true north, south, east, west lot, Valrico means rich valley or valley of God. I just knew I had to have it. I just knew this is where we needed to be. And then when I started looking at the demographics of the area and how underserved the community is, I really knew we had to be there. I called my broker the next day, made an offer that was just shy of asking price, and they took it, and then I never looked back. And I have no regrets. I love our lot. The community's been so supportive. I just cannot believe how lucky I am to be in that community.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot. And if you can find it's funny, Kris, what you called a hill anywhere in Florida, it's good because, Kris, I grew up in the Baltimore, DC area and then was in Ohio for a little while. And it was just coming here. I've been here for almost 9 years now. And I always heard people go, oh, Florida's so flat. We miss it. We miss the mountains. We miss that. And I was like, how could you miss that? I mean, I'll admit I do. But, once I spend Christmas Day on the beach, I kind of get over it.
Every place has their special thing about it.
Yeah.
I grew up in New York City. It's a great place. At this point in my life, this is where we are, and we're going to make this.
Yep, most definitely. Well, what motivated you guys as far as pursuing craft beer restaurants franchises? I mean, that's kind of a lot of things going on. What solidified you guys into that?
So we looked at a few things. Originally, it wasn't going to be craft beer. Somebody approached me about Brass Tap, and I just didn't like the corporate feel of it. I didn't like the hard sell of it. I didn't like the fact that I was going to have 100 commercial beers on tap. That was a non-starter for me. We looked at opening an Italian restaurant because we're Italian, right? So we took a look at that. And craft beer kind of made the radar because what I really started to notice was, especially down here in Florida, there's just a lot of chain restaurants.
Yep.
You know, and people like going into them because they want to have a beer and they want to have like pub style food, but all the food's the same. When you go to them, everybody's selling some kind of frozen burger patty with flour coated, non-flour coated frozen French fries, right? With the same kind of fixings. And you get for the most part, you get a commercial beer. Or they might have one or two craft taps, right? From some of the bigger breweries.
And it's usually a Sam Adams.
Yeah. They may have like Motorworks is big down here. They may have Motorworks on tap in some places, right? But what I noticed was the food wasn't good, right? And there was nothing other than the experience of eating and going, right? So the thing about Voodoo too is the Belgian beer style hall that we run makes everybody sit together and makes you part of the community. So instead of coming in and having a beer and a burger and having a 30-minute or 40-minute dining experience and running, you know, you'll sit down and talk to the people next to you. I don't know if you noticed, but I have a gift for Gab and a big smile. You know, if I saw you two guys sitting there and I never met you, you don't know yet, but you're going to say hello to me. And I might come over with the game and tell some of the people sitting next to you, like, hey, well, you guys, before you even order, why don't you play around to Django? Why don't you play around to this? Why don't you try this out? And then we'll order dinner in a few minutes. Why don't you guys get to know each other? Maybe I'll break the ice and ask you to tell us something, the funniest thing that ever happened to you, or the strangest thing you ever saw, and just see if you can get you talking to somebody next to you. And I think that's the thing that really makes us so special, because when you walk into a Voodoo pub, it's not just a dining experience. It's somebody just said to me, who came into the pub who's going to do the mural. She said to me, she says, I love what you're doing because we don't have a date night place. And this will be a perfect date night place. And I said, you got it. It will be. We'll have live music. We'll have a reason for you to come here other than to drink.
Nice. Yeah. So for one thing, Kris and I also have the gift of gab, and we're very friendly and we like to go interact. So we may have hit you up when we first
right. I made 2 friends at Publix today, Kris. Just grocery shopping.
My wife and I are the ones that we were in line at the grocery store and we're chatting with whoever's in front of us. We never even seen them before because we just like to talk as well. So I like that. I like that you want to make a community. My fear is I have some friends that don't like to be, the small chit chat and social and stuff. They want to just go enjoy their beer, their burger, maybe say hello, but don't want to interact. Hopefully they won't be turned off. But I like the community because that when I so I also travel internationally quite a bit for my company. And whenever I travel and I'm traveling alone, I always go and I sit at the bar. And I sit at the bar because I don't want to be sitting alone at a table. I want to go and interact with people. So if there's one person I'm going to be able to interact with for sure, and that's the bartender. that's across the way from me. So I always have someone to talk to, and I enjoy that. And I end up meeting some really great people that we end up, I may never see them again, or I may be see them throughout my visits as I come. And I've met people in Israel that I go back and I still go and meet them when I go back and visit. And since they've moved to these States, we've met up in different areas as well. So you can make friends that you end up, having kind of a different type of friendship that you just, end up meeting for the rest of your life if you do it right. So I like that.
Yeah. You just have to open your mind for your eyes to see it. That's it. I had the same experience traveling through China and the Philippines. sometimes I traveled for 3 weeks at a time, so there'd be downtime, and I would make friends, and he'd be like, "Who was showing you around in the pictures at the Great Wall, or who was showing you around in Chengdu, or how did you end up at a villa in the Philippines with a volcanic spring-fed pool?" So you talk to people.
You say hi to somebody.
You say hi. It starts with saying hi. Hey, how you doing? So I guess too, for those people who do want to dine alone, we do have 4 tops that can be turned into 6 tops. Most of the bar we set up Belgian beer style, but we do know that some people will like their privacy. For example, my artist who said it'd be a great date night. I'm sure she wouldn't want to be sitting shoulder to shoulder on date night with me and you. Right? Plus, she wants to spend time with her husband. So she's like, I'm not coming back here again for date night. These 2 guys here.
All right. So I have a question that I had pre-written down because I was curious about it. You've mentioned some of it already, but how much freedom are you given over customization of your location, your menu, your beer, your tap list? How much freedom do you have to customize your location?
Location's full autonomy. I'm Voodoo's first ground up build. Everybody else has a lease.
Oh, really?
And I'm the only steel building. So they gave me a lot of leeway to do what I needed to do to get out of the gate. When it comes to menu, when I signed my FDD, menu flexibility was just menu flexibility with pre-approval, right? So you could submit your menu as long as you had staple items, you could put what you wanted on it to localize your menu.
Okay.
The new FDDs are 20% menu flexibility. I'll probably have about 30% menu flexibility because I do love their menu. I think their menu is excellent the way it is. We're probably going to carry 35 items and probably 5 to 6 specials that we'll have. And I'm this close to hiring a chef and hoping, fingers crossed for me this week, guys. I have a final meeting. But if we get this individual, I feel like that person's really creative with food, and I'm really creative with food, and we're going to work together and put our 2 big brains together in the kitchen, and we're going to make stuff that'll knock people's socks off. And that's why I love the fact that we have menu flexibility, because if you have that right person back there that just loves what they do and loves their craft and loves to create something unique, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I think the beer is incredible, but I want you to come for the beer, love our food, and stay for the people.
Okay. So as far as the menu items that are part of the Voodoo menu, how do you go about getting are the ingredients and everything like readily available, or is there, they're not unique to certain areas. So the menu is, do you have to buy stuff through Voodoo, or do you buy stuff locally and just make the menu items with your local ingredients?
So for staple items, we have a centralized partner.
Okay.
They make a lot of customized items that are Voodoo only, which is great, right? When it comes to things like baked goods, like think rolls and bread and stuff like that, you find a local bakery, so it has local flair, right? So for example, up in Pittsburgh, they use spent grain rolls. They take the spent grain from the brew house in Erie, give it to the bakery, and they make rolls.
Okay.
They are the most fantastic roll I've ever, or bun I've ever had for a burger or a sandwich anywhere. It's just incredible. They don't ship as far as Florida. I'm heartbroken.
Oh.
So I'm on the hunt to find a bakery that wants to indulge me and pick that project up. So if you guys know somebody, if there's somebody listening that wants to do it or wants to try it out,
so what is it?
DM me.
What is it that you're looking for?
Spent grain roll.
Spent grain rolls. Matt Griffo, you got anything on that, buddy? I'd love to see if we can find a hookup for him. So one of our listeners, Kris, he can actually walk to your location too. I live on the south side of 60. He lives on the north side of 60, right at Mall Rennan right there. And he works for Publix corporate in their bakery section.
Oh, nice.
Their bakery department. So it's and he's he's, if I remember correctly, he's worked with the guys over at Three Bulls and a couple of other places here locally too. So he and I are both really excited about you guys opening the doors. But some spent grain rolls, I'm gonna see what we can find.
Matt, hit me up, brother. DM me at Voodoo Valrico.
Yeah, absolutely. He said he doesn't. I don't know anyone that's doing anything with spent grain around here, at least not at that scale. All right. Yeah. Well, let's see what a Facebook.
Your local bakery. I'll talk on
the good. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what a Facebook post brings us.
Thank you.
So Kris, you mentioned earlier as well that you were able to customize the Voodoo your own logo. So you customized the Voodoo Brewing logo that you have behind you to have the flowers and stuff that represent kind of Florida flowers and stuff.
Yeah. So this is to represent Valrico.
Valrico, okay.
So those are orange blossoms. There's an orange because the history of Valrico was orange grows from the very beginning, right?
Okay.
And they call it the Valley of God. So the skull has the stars around it, right? Which signifies that. Mm-hmm. And then the skull is wearing shades because the future's so bright in Florida, man. You gotta wear shades.
And it's Florida.
Right? So I'm blocking the skull. I love this virtual background because I fit right in here. You see that? Right in here.
Just need some sunglasses, man. You got it.
That's right.
All right. So how did you have help figuring out how you wanted to do this, or did you have a graphics person, or does Voodoo provide graphic help as well?
Voodoo does have a marketing department. They give you support.
Okay.
And they take a lot of feedback. We went through 4 rounds to come up with this logo, and my poor art skills gave them a start that they laughed at a little bit. And they're like, all right, well, Kris, don't worry, you put your crayons away, we'll make something beautiful. Once they had the idea of what I wanted, they gave me three rounds later, we had this, and I just was in love with it. And my daughter loved it. Mm-hmm. And she's like, Dad, this is so you. The smiling skull, it just screams. She called me, her and her friends call me Cadillac of Dads. She's like, it screams Cadillac of Dads.
Nice.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I had another question I was going to ask, and I just forgot what it was. But meanwhile, Kris, why don't you ask the last question I have down?
Okay.
There?
Well, so since you guys don't brew any beer on site, how does the beer make its way to Florida? I mean, are you guys finding any? Do you see or have you noticed any logistical challenges with shipping beer?
It's a long way to come to us, right? So, we have to be very good at planning, right? So we have to understand our demand. We have to understand what taps are really moving and be out ahead of that, right? It comes through distribution just like any other beer has to by law. My hope is that Voodoo, as they get bigger, won't just keep expanding Erie. They have a huge presence now in the Southeast, not just with me, but with all the future people signing. The Southeast is going to be littered with Voodoo, So I think they should probably think about finding a place to brew. They don't have to build their own brewery. There are a lot of, and it's unfortunate not everybody goes into the craft beer business makes it. So there are a lot of brew houses out there or brew facilities out there where they could go in as under contract, or they could buy a facility and just use it to bring the beer closer to us, help us lower costs, and just logistically make it a little bit easier. But I've talked to a lot of my peers that are open. They haven't had any problems getting beer, and Voodoo's been expanding the facility in Erie on a regular basis. They just keep making it bigger and bigger. I think they want to take over the craft beer world. They're on a mission.
I mean, there's Frickin Brew Hub over in Lakeland. They're brewing for all kinds of different people. So I mean, God only knows.
Yeah, there are a lot of great places where they could get help down here for sure. But
are you
cross your fingers? Hopefully, I won't have a problem getting.
Yeah. My only concern is it seems like I hate the fact that breweries have to go through middlemen just to sell their own beer, right? So Voodoo Brewing is you know, it's your beer, right? You're a franchise owner, so it's your beer, but you can't just bring it into your state because it has to go through the channels of paying the middle guys to get it there. And I think that's kind of it's kind of sad. I understand why we have it, but I also see some problems with it when you guys can't just go and have a truck deliver, you know, beer down to you when you know, every few months when you need to restock, without paying, you know, surcharges to the middleman. So hopefully it works out okay. I hope you don't have to pay extra extra money to get your own beer.
Yeah, it's just interesting the way Florida's set up. If you brew on premise, if you have a master brew location, if the other locations brew enough beer to support their location, you can trade beer between the locations without paying distribution costs, up to 9 locations from the mothership.
Oh.
So it's interesting. So Voodoo got down here and they had a mothership. And then, you know, you could brew one beer on premise, right? And trade beers and avoid the 25 to 30 cents on a dollar in distribution costs. My hope is they come to Florida. I might just put like a little brew house on the back of my property.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe you can just get like a, you know, like a 1-barrel brew system and brew some beer and then trade it. They don't have to drink it. Just trade it to wherever, and then you can get beer back to you free.
Right now, you know, like you said, I understand why the distribution model's there, and you know, you're a good human. I'm a good human. I'm pretty sure Kris is a good human too. You know, for introducing me to you. You know, so there are probably people who aren't good humans out there that would take advantage if there wasn't a distribution system to keep people honest.
Sure.
So, you know, the system has its. I think it's a necessary part of the process, and you know, I just thank God that people like craft beer so much that they're willing to come see us, even though we got to put a wholesale price on.
Yeah, yeah. Are you able to mention how many franchises are opening in the Southwest or Southeast? You mentioned there's a bunch of ones going on. Is that public knowledge, or are you not allowed to say how many more Voodoo Brewings are coming in the Southeast?
I could share the locations in Florida if that would be helpful.
Okay.
So my friends in Fort Myers just opened. Go see Michelle. She's doing great. She's awesome. I went to her grand opening. We got Bob. He's over in St. Pete. He's coming soon. He might beat me to the finish line. I'm rooting for him. He's got 8,900 square foot plates. It's unbelievable in downtown St. Pete. We have Jen, who's going to be up in Crystal River. She's just getting started. Wow. I know there's 2 people who signed on in Orlando. Jacksonville's the next one that's coming online. They have a great location. I hope I can get to their grand opening, but it might be in the middle of the mayhem of me preparing for my grand opening. And then I know they have one in Fort Lauderdale that's coming close to getting done. And, you know, I just sit there and look at all the green fields because Florida's a big state and craft beer is real popular down here. My hope is I have a great relationship with Voodoo and I have a great successful relationship with the community, so we can open up in another market, connect the founders clubs, and get those charities lined. And not only I think this is a great way, not only, you know, purpose business to make money, to make a great living, but it's also a great way to be a part of the community and do greater good in the community. I want to be Kris of the community, not you know, a guy who's traveling globally anymore. Yeah. So my hope is we open a few of these places, and my face is in front of a few more logos like this, talking to people like you.
I mean, Denny, you've got 2. You got one in Boise and one in Meridian.
Yeah, the Boise one opened last year, and then I just found out the Meridian one is opening, or may have already opened as well. So we have 2 in our area. I've gone to the one in Boise, and I enjoyed it. I didn't eat, but I drank. So I haven't experienced the food, but other people were eating at my table, and they said the food was, and I saw the food, it looked fantastic as well.
The logos though that I'm seeing, how they've customized logos, Kris, for each location, these are really cool. I did not realize that they were doing that, but these are really awesome looking.
I didn't realize it either until I noticed that when I saw the one on the front of the building over by where I lived, and it looked a lot different than the one I saw on yours. So I'm like, wait a minute, they're not standard, and that threw me off because I thought, well, maybe there's, what's up with these Voodoo Brewings? They should all have the standard logo. But now I understand why
they have a new rule to connect us now, because since you say that, right? So that was one thing that kind of like doesn't give us good brand recognition, because you're seeing their personalized logo and my personalized logo, and you're like, is this part of the same brand?
Brewery? Yeah.
So now we've gone to standardized signage that you see from the road. So we all use the same sign from the road, and our logos can go anywhere we want on the building or in the building, right, on our merch and all that other stuff. But our signs are the same. So so the Voodoos now that are opening, if you walk in, you're going to see our channel lit signs with the bulbs, the LED bulbs and the letters, and they're all going to be in the same font. So at least when you pull into a Voodoo brewery, you're going to know we're all part of Voodoo Brewery.
Yeah. Okay, good. We haven't asked you, when do you think you'll be open? What's your planned opening date?
I'm going to get open before summer closes out.
Okay. Before summer ends.
We're targeting August. You know, like any ground up construction, we've had our moments.
Mm-hmm.
I love my GC. My GC is going to get it done. And I'm going to give a shout out to somebody, to a local organization that doesn't get a lot of love. 2 organizations. One, I'm going to say thanks to the county. The county has been incredibly helpful to me getting open. They've been helpful. A lot of people complain about the county and the permitting process. Permits are there to protect people like me and people like you in the community from people building shoddy businesses, right? And they've done a great job helping me through. The other people, I think, have made a Herculean effort to help me. Tico Gas and Electric.
Yeah.
These guys are unbelievable. I've built things in New Jersey. Utilities are horrible to work with.
Mm-hmm.
The people at Tico are so responsive, so friendly. They listen, they talk to you. If they know you need help, they give it to you. I've been so happy with the county and Tico and the people I'm partnered with, that before we do our soft opening for friends and family on Friday night, on Thursday night, I'm going to have an opening just for them.
Wow. Oh, that's good. That's good to show your appreciation.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, because man, I don't ever hear that.
Yeah.
About Hillsborough County and Tico. I hear
people in Hillsborough been really good to me. I mean, it's hard to get things through, right? Like permitting's hard in any place you go. But when I really started talking to people and getting to know them, I could not believe how willing they were to take calls, and how willing they were to answer my questions, and how willing they were to introduce me to people and help me get through the process, point me in the right direction.
Good.
So if you're somebody from the county, you're somebody from Tico, you're hearing thank you from somebody you helped, and you'll be welcome at a soft opening on Thursday night before friends and family.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome.
All right, Kris, I think that's all the questions I had. You had any questions for Kris?
No, I mean, we touched on everything that we usually touch on and some.
Yeah. And Kris, Voodoo Kris, is there anything that we didn't ask you that you haven't said that you'd like to get out?
And you guys asked a lot of great questions.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I just want to say thank you so much for having me on and
you're
allowing
welcome.
me to talk about it. You can tell I'm real excited about the business, and I can't wait to be part of the community. So I'm just so grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
I'm excited from your excitement. And Kris, it has been a pleasure to chat with you. I thoroughly have enjoyed chatting with you. I love your enthusiasm. Definitely. I love your smile. I love your attitude. I just want, I hope everything goes smoothly and you get that opening before the end of summer and it's just a smash hit because I think you deserve it. I mean, you got a lot of enthusiasm and care for this this opportunity. So I hope you're able to make your dreams come true.
Thank you, guys. And Kris, you'll and Denny too, if you want to fly down. I'll put you on the opening for partners. so you can come on down. Since you invited me to your podcast, really appreciate
Well,
it.
we appreciate that. I've been trying to get him down here to Tampa for, I don't know,
For
well,
years
since I
and
got
years and
here,
years.
close to a decade.
I mean, it's time. It's not that bad, really.
Yeah.
It's a good place. It's very different from where you are, but it's not another planet. You'll be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I lived in Orlando. I was in the Navy. I was in Orlando for a year back in the 80s, and it was I had enough of Florida heat life to last a lifetime. But I'll come visit. I will come visit, Kris. So
One day.
one day I will
One day
come.
we'll do it.
I just gotta wait for the right time when everything's aligned. It's getting close, Kris. It's getting close.
Well, no, I'll be up there to see you before that happens.
That's true. That's true.
Well, Kris, thank you so much for joining us, man. We're looking forward to the doors opening at your place. And for those of you that are in the Tampa area, we're shooting for August, guys. So make sure you guys, once you see the go ahead, come on out, go visit Kris and his team over at the Valrico location of Voodoo Brewery or Voodoo Brewing Company, and see what they have to offer. Because if it's anything that goes along with his enthusiasm, it's going to be pretty awesome.
It's going to be good.
Thanks, guys. Follow us on Voodoo Valrico on Instagram, Facebook.
Perfect.
All right.
All right, Kris. Well, again, thanks again, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, Kris.
Take care.
All right. Well, that was thoroughly enjoyable. I really liked talking to Kris. I enjoyed that. And,
Me too.
And now I need to go have that. What was it called again? The beer he likes. I'm having a hard time.
Oh,
remembering.
Lacto Cooler.
Lacto Cooler. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll text you a picture of it, but
I saw it in the store yesterday. I saw it in the store yesterday, and it was a 4-pack for $22. I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend $22 without knowing if I, if it's. But now I'm hearing, Kris, singing the praises of it. It's got to be good, right? So maybe I'll just.
And I mean, you can't go wrong when it's focused around the Ghostbusters. I mean, it's got Slimer's picture on it. Well, I don't know if it's him, but it's to mimic, for those of you that grew up as kids in the 80s and 90s, the Ecto Cooler, the drink from High C, and the beer's green. So I mean,
is it green too?
Yeah, it's green.
Okay, I'll pick up this 4-pack then. I gotta go get it green. Now. So. All right, Kris. Well, we're going to continue on and finish out the show with a couple things. We're going to do a voicemail. We got a voicemail. Yes, we got a voicemail. Did you get that voicemail, Kris?
I did, and I figured out how to do it and make sure it's shared with all these new stupid buttons that freaking Zoom's got. So I'm ready to go. You ready?
Yeah, let's go ahead and play the voicemail from Mr. Eric Gronley.
Here it is.
Hey guys, it's Eric Gronley from Tampa, Minnesota. Hope your
always sounds like he says Tampa.
Well. Happy
Tampa,
Friday.
Minnesota.
I am on my way up north to go fishing with my father-in-law and my son Teddy. So I'm looking forward to that, getting out on the water. I'll be drinking some Sierra Nevada Summerfest, which is drinking really nice right now, and some Spotted Cow by our friends at Nuclearis. So I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Show
Denny,
off.
looking forward to connecting with you and Sarah on Sunday. And we'll look forward to hearing the travels that you had on the way. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Well, thank you, Eric, for leaving a voicemail. And it's a good segue in. I haven't talked about my trip, so now that we just have a little bit of free time here, I'm going to say one of the highlights of my trip was spending the Sunday afternoon with Eric and his wife Megan and his family. His son Teddy and his daughter Jazzy. We had an absolutely fantastic time. Hit it off. Literally, we are now family, which is the case almost every time anyone we meet, they become family. Kevin and Amanda Argauer, our family. Kris, your family. Who else have I?
Well, I mean, I got a last minute heads up from Matt Knight the other day. He was like, "Hey, I'll be there next week," and I was like, "Dude, give me a little more notice."
Wow, next week. So
he's here now, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, he's right now. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. He said I saw a post that he was at the video game museum or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So he's it's summer camp time for the kids, I believe, and man, it's it's a busy week.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe you guys, maybe if it doesn't involve you driving too far, you guys can meet up again. But yeah, but we had a great time. We met at Luce Line Brewing. Yes, Luce Line Brewing. Had a few beers, a lot of good conversation. And then I didn't want to keep them too long. That place was, I guess they were still, I don't know if they were closing down or whatever, but we were wanting to move on to another brewery. Went to OMNI Brewing in Maple Grove. I think it's Maple Grove, and right there outside of Minneapolis. And a great beer there. I had 3 beers, and they were all fantastic. I'm going to talk about one of them in my new and one or two maybe in my new and noteworthy, OMNI Brewing. So, and then, but yeah, the biggest thing was just the fact that Eric's wife Megan fell in love with Sarah, and they just hit it off great and chatted it, and it was just a good time. And I'm glad that nobody felt felt weird. I never feel weird meeting people because I've done this a number of times, meeting people I've only talked to on podcasts. I'm just a friendly guy, but yeah, it was that was one of the highlights. That was definitely the highlight of our trip, and that was on the way home. And then their generosity, not only in Eric providing me beer, I made a video and put it on Facebook. It was of unboxing the beer that he gave me. That box was full of beer, and a total of 36 beers I think was inside that box. That's a lot of
Wow.
beer, and it was curated to my tastes. Rye ales, barley wine, English barley wines, a lot of good Kolsch lagers. Really, really good. A cold IPA that was fantastic. I just really generous and really good beers. And then not only that, but then Megan walks out with a big giant bag full of all kinds of Minnesota swag. We had different bins of seasoned pretzels and nuts, coffee, and she written some of her favorite recipes on handwritten cards so that we could have the recipe. They went all out. Really, really made us feel good. So I just wanted to say thank you to them again. And our trip was long, 3,600 miles I drove in 2 weeks. And the wind was not in my favor. The wind blew us around. Every time we got in to drive the next spot, we were just getting blown around, and so I had to drive slower so I wouldn't get killed. But
we appreciate that.
Yeah, even with those with that wind and everything, Sarah and I had a fantastic time living in our trailer, seeing Mount Rushmore, seeing the Badlands, driving through the Badlands, the Black Hills, spending time in that area. Just everything was beautiful. Now on the way back home, we drove through southern. So we drove completely through 5 states, all the way across Idaho, which I've driven that a million times, all the way through the central portion of Wyoming. I've driven the southern part of Wyoming like 3 times, and all the way through South Dakota, the kind of the central South Dakota, and that's the first time I've ever been in South Dakota. And then we drove up through the western side of Minnesota, and then over all the way across North Dakota, the southern part of North Dakota, all the way across southern part of Montana. I've only been on the western side of Montana near the Bitterroot mountain range. I hadn't been anywhere more central. So I got to see basically 4 states that I hadn't really driven through before, which was great. Now, not a big fan of North Dakota. Just gonna say, not a big fan. A lot of grassland and desert land, and actually eastern Montana, not a big fan. A lot of desert, but we did stay one night at the small little town of Terry, Montana, I think it has like 600 people or something like that in it. And we fell in love with the people at this town. This town that's dying because of it's drying up a little bit because the sugar beet farms that were going, that the sugar beet plant closed, and then those farmers kind of had to change what they're doing and leave farming, and so the town kind of has shrunk up. But the people in that town are just fantastic. We met some really nice people. We went through the museum. We had 2 museums there that we went through on the last, before we left. We packed up our trailer, drove it to the museum, and then we spent an hour walking through the museum. And their museum they have in this small little town rivals some museums that are in bigger towns. There's a lot of fascinating stuff in there. And again, the people that were volunteering their time to have it open, just fantastic people to chat with. So that's the one best thing I have to say about Eastern Montana, Central and Eastern Montana in the desert grassland area, is that the people are fantastic. They're really good people.
Hey, you found the positive in it.
I found the positive. Honestly, the trip was fantastic. Was fantastic. It's just tiring. I'm still trying to overcome my tiredness, and I've been back a week now.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and we'll do it again. Oh, and not to mention that I did end up in Madison, South Dakota, the town my great-great-great-great-grandfather co-founded. We did stay in the state park where his cabin on the lake, Herman Lake, named for Herman Luce.
Those are some cool pictures, by the way.
Yeah, that was his cabin. Now, what's interesting about that cabin, it was where the family lived. It was also the post office. It was also a hotel. I mean, it served a lot of purposes back in the day when there wasn't a lot literally there was nothing there. So it had a lot of function, and that was a small little cabin. It wasn't a huge place. It was, like maybe a 14 by 14 foot square cabin. It was not very big, but we participated in Herman Luce Pioneer Days and got to learn how to make rope and squish apples and dye yarn with vegetables, which was fantastic. That was my favorite part of the thing, was doing the dyeing. Tending bees, all kinds of stuff. It was really, really fun. Yeah. So that's kind of summarizes my trip. It was a great, great time. And thank you, Eric, for your voicemail. I got sidetracked there, but all right, Kris, do you want to untap the craft and see what our listeners are drinking?
I'm just trying to find the bottom of this. Okay, well, here we go. So if you guys want us to read your check-ins, make sure you follow me on Untapped at MCK1345. Denny, I need a new username on Untapped. That 1345, that was the number address to my house in Ohio. And
wow. Well, you'll never forget that house, I guess.
Yeah, but life makes you want to look at other numbers and names. But hey, we'll figure out what we can put together. But we'll start out with Craig Andrew right here in the Tampa Bay area. It looks like he's doing a bit of drinking today, but I'm kind of curious. Craig, I'm a little confused because your glass says Irie Jungle 2023, but the menu that I'm looking at says Irie Jungle 2020, and I can't see the last number. So I don't know if you're at a beer event or what you're doing here, but he's checking into a few things. He's at Tripping Animals Brewing Company, it looks like, but he's checking into a Foggy Dreamboat by Humble Sea Brewing Company. No notes, but a rating of 4.25 caps to go along with that one. Craig is a big fan of the late check-ins. Okay. Big fan of the hazy IPA. The more IPA, the better. The hazier the better, the hoppier the better. Excuse me. He is all about the hops, man. But checking into things like Gulp Fiction by KCBC, Higher Vibrations by Burley Oak Brewing Company, which he gave 4 cap rating to. And then next on our list, because we've got to continue his 101,000th check-in streak, Chad Lamassa drinking a beer that he said super cool can art. It's a decent hazy. It's Two Thieves by Antietam Brewery, and he gave it a 3.5 cap rating. But I don't know, pretty cool can art. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty cool can art.
Hey, Kris.
Yeah.
Keep reading. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay. Well, when you go back, come back. I have to go run to the bathroom too.
Okay.
So next on the list, we've got a few check-ins from Art Warcheck, checking into a beachfront property by Mask Landing Brewing Company, checking in at the Giant Eagle Portage Crossing Market District. 3.25 caps to go along with that one, but no notes. Florida Steve. Steve, we're going to have to get you some new glasses, buddy. Actually, those are some old school Cigar City glasses. So they've got the old logo on them. And, you know, I don't know how you feel about Cigar City anymore, but we'll never let it die. But checking into a 2024 Gloop City Fusion Dewey by Woven Water Brewing. He says, Woven Water never ceases to amaze me with their fruited sours. 5 cap rating from Florida Steve. Checking into a Woven Water beer. Art again, checking into Little Red Riding Hoof by Abomination Brewing Company, and a Stone Enjoy by 7/4/24. So make sure you enjoy those by Independence Day this year. The Tangerine and Pineapple IPA. You only gave it 3.75 caps rating on this one, so I don't know if it holds up to previous years, but I miss those. Next on our list, Mike Allen is drinking a strawberry. Simply put, just strawberry by Crafted Artisan Meadery. 3.75 caps rating for that one. Oh, Chad, you made up for your last check-in. Chad Lamassa is drinking a Maximum Frequency by Heist Brewery. He said, much better than the previous one. Lots of hops. Chad, were you talking about the previous beer that you checked into, or are you talking about the previous beer from Heist Brewery? He gave it a 4 cap rating for that one. And then we're going to refresh the screen and see if anybody checked into other things. Yeah, Matt Griffo. You checked into... Matt, I'd love to see the picture of this beer, or at least the can or the bottle or whatever it is. You Brew Chocolate Milk Stout by Beachfly Brewing Company. Nice touch of chocolate, present, but not overdone. 3.75 caps rating for that one. And he said Heist has a really cool spot. Well, maybe we should go to Heist too. Where's Heist out of? That was Chad's beer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was Chad. Is it in
Charlotte, North Carolina?
Yeah, I thought it was North Carolina. Yeah. Okay.
All right. And then the last one on my list is from Leo. He's drinking a Free Ride by Phillips Brewing and Malting Company. 4 cap rating. No notes to go along with it. But Denny, that's what everybody's drinking.
All right. Excellent. Excellent.
It's good timing on your part too.
Yeah. Good timing. So, Kris, you have to go right this second? Okay.
No, I don't have to go right this second.
Well, we could either do the tin-tacker opening and then you go.
That's really what I need. It's the tin-tackers in my backpack.
Oh, okay. Or I can go in and do my new and noteworthy.
Start your new and noteworthy, because
okay.
I don't have any.
Okay. I will. Yeah. So go take care of business.
And then I'll go get my tin-tacker.
Okay. All right. Well, now it's time for the new and noteworthy beers. Kris has no new and noteworthy beers. Shame on him. I have way too many, so shame on me. And I've got a lot to talk about here because I drank a lot of beers. Not only did I go over 5,000 unique check-ins on my vacation, I have gone over like 33 beers over that even. So not only did I achieve greatness in hitting 5,000 after Untapped kept removing all my check-ins, and I'm finding that other people are claiming the same thing. So now they're being affected. First it was just me. Now everyone else is being affected as well. But I'm going to start with the actual beer that I drank to go over 5,000 beers, and that is from Minor Brewing Company in the Black Hills of South Dakota in Hill City. It's their Chokecherry Brown Ale, and what better beer could I have possibly drank to celebrate my 5,000th unique beer than not only a brown ale, which is perfect, but a Chokecherry brown ale, which I found that I really like choke cherries in beer.
Did it make it taste like maple?
No, it didn't though. It didn't. That was surprising. But here's what I had to say about the Chokecherry brown. Finally, 5,000. And I pick a brown ale. You know it would be either a brown ale or a black IPA if you know me. Absolutely great brown ale. The Chokecherry adds, I said chokeberry in here, but it's Chokecherry, adds a bit of unique tangy flavor that melds well with the chocolate and the nutty goodness. And that's what was different about this one. This one gave it kind of a tanginess, and it was like almost like some, like some berry tanginess in there. But it was really good. I got a crowler of this, and guess I drank it at the brewery, but I also got a crowler, a 32-ounce crowler. It made it all the way, like it made it almost 2 weeks between the time I got it until I opened it. And guess what? It was still carbonated and very tasty. Unlike
Perfect.
Thick and Twisted Brewing in the same town, that none of the 5 crowlers I got had any carbonation in them, and they were all flat. Very
that
disappointing
sucks.
in that. Yeah, that was very disappointing. All right, the next beer is from Eponymous.
Hippopotamus?
I don't know. It's a funny name out of a town, the college town, South Dakota
I'd
State
go
University.
with eponymous.
Eponymous. That's eponymous. Boiz to the Yard, watermelon milkshake IPA. I drank, so this was one of the breweries we visited when I was in Madison, but Madison's brewery was closed. So I drove 40 miles northeast to go to a bigger town that had this brewery. And I had 2 beers. Both of them were good, but this is the one I wanted to talk about. It stood out a little bit more. It says, this really works. Watermelon flavor up front with the vanilla coming through in the finish, along with a bit of bitterness. It's a very well done beer. 4.5 cap rating. Oh, by the way, that Chokecherry Brown was a 5 cap rating. I forgot to say that. 5 cap rating for my 5,000th beer.
5.
Yeah. So, I was hesitant to get this one because I'm not a big fan of milkshake IPAs, but this one really worked well. I thought it was well done. So that's why I gave that a 4.5 cap rating. The next beer, OMNI Brewing. I just talked about it. It's the FAD, which stands for Frickin' Awesome and Delicious New
Perfect.
England Double IPA. I had this with Eric. It says, had to try this multi-award-winning double IPA. It is a very tasty and very smooth with delicate flavors. I was enjoying the company and the beer at the same time. So I was happy. So I was sorry for not having better notes. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, I didn't check into any of the beers that Eric and I drank until after we got back to the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want to interrupt with our visiting time. So I just took pictures and then I got back home and then I entered on my notes. But I gave this a 4.5 cap rating. Really good beer.
Okay.
It's won multiple awards for the Minnesota state beer championships or whatever. I can't remember what he said, but it's really good. It is freaking awesome and delicious. The other one, guess what? I had 2 that I'm new and noteworthy from OMNI. This is the Omnidirectional. See what they did there? Omnidirectional.
Clever.
Rye American Pale Ale. Wait, hold on. Shoot, what the heck is this thing? uh, it's IPA. I put APA. I meant I should put an I in there. I got the I and the A reversed. I must have been drinking.
Well,
when
this
I
has just
took these
ruined my
notes.
experience, Denny.
Omnidirectional Rye IPA. Yeah, phew, man. Maybe I should slow down on the beers tonight too. Finishing off this awesome night with this red rye IPA. It has the characteristics of a red IPA with the rye spiciness and the aroma and flavor. The rye is more mellow, adding an earthy character. I do prefer more rye character, but it was still delicious. 4.25 cap rating. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple beers that Eric provided in his care package to me, a beer care package. The first one is from Insight Brewing. Now, Kris, I think we had some Insight Brewing when he sent us beer, if I remember correctly. And this one's is the Wallflowers Cold IPA. And I'm a big fan of cold IPA, and this one was really good. It says, have I mentioned how much I enjoy cold IPAs? On the nose, there's melon. Flavor has the melon with decent amount of dank and some pine. Finishes dry with some fruity hop flavor. Layered and complex and very tasty. Thanks, Eric. 4.5 cap rating. Really, really good cold IPA. I really enjoyed that one a lot. The next one is it's a special beer. It's from 56 Brewing. Again, these are Minnesota breweries. Renewal Amber Rye Ale. You know, everyone knows how much I love rye. Rye IPA up above, rye ale here. This one is a special batch. It says sweet caramel on the nose with a little toffee or burnt caramel as well. The flavor follows the aroma, but also adds a nice rye flavor in the finish. Really enjoyable amber that provides a little extra punch to spice it up. Thanks, Eric, for hooking me up. 4.5 cap rating. I really like this one too. That was a really good rye ale. Rye ale. The next Minnesota brewery I'm going to talk about here is Summit Brewing, Union Series number 5, Old Blaggard, English barley wine from 2019. Eric bought a 4-pack of this. He drank one fresh, gave one to drank another one a little bit later, and then he gave one to his friend, and he gave me his last one from 2019. He's been aging this one a little bit. And so that was very kind of him to give me his cellared beer, and it was really good. Says, and I had this on my birthday. Says, it's my birthday, and I'll get wasted if I want to. It's my birthday, and I'll get wasted if I want to. Wasted if I want to. Well,
you get wasted
really,
too if it happened to you.
Well, not really, but I'm in a goofy mood. Yes, I was in a goofy mood. Decided to break open this special Minnesota beer from my buddy Eric. Smells great. Toffee and a hint of orange jelly candy in the aroma. Toffee and charred wood. Tasty. 4.5 cap rating. Really good beer. Thank you, Eric, for that special beer. Last beer. I mentioned to Kris before the show started that Friday was a day that we did some day drinking. Instead of, we went to lunch, and instead of coming back to work, we decided just to go drinking. And we went to Mother Earth Brewing here in Boise. And I had a few beers. Yes, I had a few beers. But the one beer I want to talk about that I really enjoyed was an experimental batch, which I hope that Mother Earth brings this into a regular rotation because it was really, really good. It's an American IPA, not a hazy, a standard American, old school American IPA called Bliss. And I said, this is a very tasty American IPA with a good old-fashioned pine and citrus hops and no haze. I am really enjoying this one, and I hope they make it into the regular rotation, enjoying an early weekend draft at Mother Earth. 4.5 cap rating. So those are my new and noteworthy beers, and I hope I made up for it for Kris's lack of drinking.
Well, like I told you, man, I don't know what it is. If it's just a a day I get home from work, man, there are some days, I don't know, maybe I'm broken, but there are some days that I get home and I don't know, a beer just doesn't sound like a good thing. And then, but man, if I go out somewhere or if I go over to like Gasparilla Pizzeria and Growlers, or, you know, it's a social thing, oh man, I'll try 4 or 5 different types of beers. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a social thing anymore.
Yeah, maybe you just like to. Geez, you know what, Kris? I can never get back into the video after I leave, so I can't get back in to see how we're doing on the Facebook thing.
What do you mean
Sorry.
you can't get back in there?
I don't know how to find the video after I leave. It just, oh, there it is. I just found it.
Okay, I was gonna say,
I'm back.
where'd you go?
I'm back. All right, so we are now going to go ahead and unbox our what do we call this thing? It's the tintackers.com.
It's the Mini-Tackers of the Month
June
Club.
Mini-Tacker of the Month Club unboxing, and Jen was so sweet. She wrote to us saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. It's going to be
our
late.
address too.
I forgot to I forgot to add you to the list." And I said, "Hey, you don't have to be sorry. We're grateful for what you've provided us." And it works out perfect anyway, because I wasn't even home to receive it. So it came after I got back from my trip. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this. We're going to cut this open now.
Sharpened my knife since the last time we did one of these too.
Well, good.
Can't be playing with dull knives, kids. That's your PSA
right.
for the day.
That's right. No dull knives. All right. So let's see what we have here.
I'm curious because some of the on the page that they put in here, is there lip balm in here?
Well, let me see. It says June 2024 swag, an extra surprise in your mailbox every month. Citrus SPF 15 lip balm, tip top lollipop from around the horn.
There is.
We care about you this summer, and we're not just paying you lip service. Here's some citrusy sweet lip balm that your kisser for that kisser of yours. Yep, it contains sunscreen so smother it on this summer. We got you. And hey, members, don't forget to use your discount code TAPTheCraft, all one word, for special pricing on any purchase at tintackers.com. You know what? I really could have used this on my vacation, because with all that wind blowing, guess what was chapped?
Your
Not
ass?
my ass. My ass was covered. It was my lips that were not covered. So I could have used this.
Cool one.
So tip. Wow, look at that thing.
I know. Got a little bit of. I don't know about you guys, but I always call this chapstick, regardless of whatever brand it is. But lip balm.
Lip balm. I'm gonna throw some of this on right now, I think. Wonder what.
Right. Make those lips nice and moist.
Ooh, it smells citrusy.
Smells good too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is some good lip balm right here. Look at these shiny,
that smells
shiny
nice.
lips I have. That's some nice citrus.
That smells
Is
nice.
that made with hops? I can't read.
No, it's just sunscreen.
Just sunscreen? There we go.
Wait, there's drug facts in there too.
I'm putting that in my pocket for this week.
So is that a lip balm in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Well, if I was happy to see if I was happy to see you, it'd be a lot
2
bigger
lip balms.
All right, how about this? How about the Mini-Tacker, Kris? You done?
I'm done goofing around. It's right here.
Oh, you already got it open?
Yeah, I got it out.
Dude.
I got it out of the plastic and everything.
June 2024 Mini-Tacker of the Month Club, Around the Horn Brewing Company. Around the Horn Brewing Company is located in Groveland, California. Groveland is just 30 minutes from the Big Oak Flat entrance to Yosemite National Park. This picturesque mountain region was settled in 1848 by a group of gold seekers. Around the Horn is a mining term and refers to taking a ship from the East Coast down around the Cape Horn at the tip of South America up to San Francisco. This was a common journey for gold seekers, lasting an average of 4 to 5 months. Oh my gosh. Tip Top Lollipop is at the horns. Super tardy, fruity sour. That's not exactly gold. Rather, it's nearly fuchsia, uh, fuchsia
Fuchsia?
in color. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuchsia in color. Worth taking the long way. Well, this is a very bright and
It really is.
colorful tacker that I can't get out of the wrapper. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I'm trying to get mine out, Kris,
There we
because
go.
mine doesn't
I
have
got it. I angled it just right.
Oh, there
so,
you go.
for the
Perfect.
most part, except for, this little guy down here.
All right, so here's mine. Tip Top Lollipop.
That's just a fun thing to say.
Yeah, this is a fun tacker. I like this one a lot. Tip
I'm gonna
Top-
see. I'm gonna see
Tip
where I gotta
Top
put this.
Lollipop. It's got strawberries, lime, banana, cherries, blueberries, and beer, and pineapple, and blackberries. Wow, it has all those things. Born in Yosemite. I love the fact that this strawberry here is toasting a beer.
Wow. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Jen, for that awesome June Mini-Tacker of the month, my
Yeah,
birthday
that's
month,
pretty
Amanda's
awesome.
birthday month. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there that we forgot to thank you before we left on vacation.
Didn't we do that?
Not Father's Day, I don't think. Did we? Did we? Did we?
I'm gonna say we did.
Okay, we did.
Yeah,
Kris has
but
a
hey,
great
we'll do it
memory.
again. No, I do not anymore. Jeez. I forgot what I was doing like 3 or 4 times today.
Yeah. All right. Wow, what am I drinking?
I don't know. I hope you know.
Oh, I'm drinking a new beer I haven't had yet. I was like,
Oh,
it's the Utepils Ewald the Golden Bavarian style Hefeweizen. And I'll tell you what, I knew it was a Hef. I'm like, I thought this was a pale ale. I'm like, this is not what I thought it was. this is a wheat beer. It tastes just like a wheat beer. And sure enough, it's a nice Bavarian wheat. It's very tasty. It's got nice clovey character in there. Nice. Just drink a beer I haven't checked into yet.
well, I got to email those guys too.
Yeah, they made a comment on my check-in, and then they wrote to Eric
Mm-hmm.
to see if we want to be on a show. I'd love to interview them on a show. Their beer is really good. They make good, solid German style beer, except they have a pale ale. So I know that Germans don't make pale ales
How do you know that?
because they don't make pale ales. They only make
Okay.
lagers and wheat ales and Kolsch ale. Not a
Okay.
standard pale, but they're really good. I like their beers are fantastic. This Kolsch, super tasty. I also drank this Utepils Helles lager, very tasty. That was a super clear one that I had after the not so clear. This one wasn't too bad. And now I'm drinking the Hazy Hef with some nice cloviness to it, and banana, little cloviness, really good, really good. Okay, enough of that. Guess what, Kris? It is time to close the show out. But before we close down, it's always good to go ahead and raise a glass. So who would like to raise a glass to tonight?
Well, you talked about earlier when we were saying Happy Father's Day and things like that. If for some weird reason we didn't do it, we'll do a couple of things. Happy belated Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we did this too, but happy belated birthday, Denny.
You did do that. Thank you. Thank you for my birthday and for Amanda.
And for
Amanda's
Amanda
birthday.
too.
Yeah.
I texted her a day after. It was like,
I texted her. I think I woke her up. I texted her early.
yeah. But
I like to be first.
she's like, happy birthday first. Okay. But also want to raise a glass to Kris over at Voodoo Brewing.
Yes.
I sent him a text once he jumped off with us just to say, hey, we appreciate you coming on. It was great to chat with him. And we're really excited to see them open up, not just because they're really close, but just because of the excitement and the passion that he seems to have for it. And just you know, I've talked to some people before they open businesses, and you know, they're like kind of ho hum about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
granted,
because
there's definitely times when you're just like,
yeah,
"Ugh,
it
I
wears
gotta
you
get
down, right? You're always
yeah.
getting beat down, one thing after another, and you're fighting it, and it's just
Well,
it's just
hell,
hard work.
I told you what I was doing the last couple weeks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, but cheers to him. Best of luck to you, Kris.
yeah.
We're
Cheers,
excited to have
Kris.
you in the
Yeah.
neighborhood, man, and we'll be there to open the doors with you here very soon. Denny, who would you like to raise a glass to this evening?
I'll raise my glass to our Patreon toast tonight goes to Mr. Chad Lamassa, check-in number 105,000.
1,986.
Cheers to you, Chad. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it. Also, I've already mentioned them a lot, but I can't stop mentioning Eric and Megan. We had such a wonderful time. Anyone who goes through Minnesota towards the Minneapolis area, um, if you want to meet some great people, you know, go visit with Eric and Megan. They're really good people. So we really liked it. And of course, being a former serviceman, I want to raise my glass and thank all those who have served and are currently serving in the U.S. military services, protecting our freedoms. Thank you for your service, and I hope all those who are deployed are able to return home safely to your families very soon. And Kris, could you please raise a glass to our sponsor?
Most certainly. We want to raise a glass to the folks over at Tin Tackers, the providers of sweet metal beer signs that will make your walls happy. Tin Tackers has a vast selection of embossed aluminum beer signs, perfect for your garage, home bar, or man cave. They have the biggest selection with the best prices. They also have a Mini-Tacker of the Month club, a club just for craft beer lovers who collect tin tackers. A surprise in your mailbox every month. Go visit their website at tintackers.com and use the promo code TAPTHECRAFT at checkout to save 10% on your entire order and to let them know we sent you.
Yes, go do that right now. They have some great, great products. Go and support them and us. And you can find the beers and the links to Voodoo Brewing's Facebook page on the show notes located on the show post at tapthecraft.com. And it is last call. And why is it giving me notices? Damn. It is last call. It's time to bring the show to a close. We want to thank you for downloading and listening. We ask you to please tell a friend and, of course, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the good word of craft beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.